Hi, so today I'm going to be talking about why higher education and a college degree might be a waste of your time, money, and it might be cause an economic disaster. It's a waste of time because, did you know, 7 out of 10, in the next decade, 7 out of 10 fastest growing profession does not require a college degree, but more of on-the-job training. And 85% of all students of recent graduates either go home jobless or underemployed. 47% of that are actually decide to go into a profession outside their studies, and 10% actually hates what they actually study in. So you ask yourself, what are you actually paying for? Like, why are you going to get this college degree if you're not actually going to use it in the future? Also, it fails to guarantee that you'll make a lot more money than everyone advertised as. You hear people, governments saying that a person with a college degree actually makes $1 million more than a person who doesn't. Well, based on their data back in time, recently, did you know that a college graduate actually makes the same amount as a college graduate in 1970? So the reason why you're not guaranteed that you're going to make a lot more money than what they say is because we actually have an oversupply of college graduates, which creates a demand issue where we don't have enough jobs. And by 2020, there's going to be 19 more million graduates and there's only going to be 7 million more new jobs created. Tuition actually increased 4 times as job wages actually stays the same. They're very stagnant. There's studies that from the economics.com and article saying that inflation of tuition actually was 1,143% compared, and an average salary for a recent graduate is only $35,000. Besides, a higher education and a college degree also fails young Americans, but it also is setting up for a big economic disaster in the future. Did you know student debt just crossed over $1 trillion, and it surpasses college car loans and credit card debts? And the reason why that is because governments, federal, are making it too easy for students to receive these loans. Yes, they're sending students to college more, but these students are actually not finding jobs or not able to pay off these loans. So, which means that they're not spending enough, and the economic system needs future students to spend more, so it costs money flow. Also, currently there's a 12% delinquency rate where students are 90 days behind on their payment, which shows that there is a lack of new jobs creating and not enough employers employing students or recent graduates. So you have to ask yourself, is pursuing a higher education worth it, or actually like finding out what you're good at and like say trade school, or like go in a certain department where you're actually good at, find a different things to go into besides, because higher education is not the only option. Thank you.
Okay, the proposition's a little problematic because it basically contains the preview of what the supporting structure is. So it sounds like you've got 3 claims instead of a singular claim that's supported by 3 minor claims or supporting claims. And that's a little bit confusing. Structurally, though, it does kind of set up what the basic body of the speech is going to be. Unfortunately, when we get to the body of the speech, your signposts on those individual points is not particularly distinct and clear. There's no numerical signpost. Careful listeners will probably pick out a couple of the points. I definitely heard when you went to your third point, setting up for educational disaster in the future. I could make out that point. The other 2 points needed to be a little bit more distinct in the body of the speech to make it easier to see how everything is developing here. That whole first section, you've got a whole bunch of statistics that you present. 7 out of 10, 88%, 47%, 10%. I got no source citation for any of that statistical information. I got information that says college graduates make the same amount as they did when they were graduates in 1970. I got no source for that information. I got there are only going to be 7 million more jobs by 2020, and there are going to be 19 million more graduates. I don't have any source for that information. When we finally get some information about 2/3 of the way through the speech where you do cite a statistic and then you give us a source for it, and that is about the rate of tuition increase and what the average salary is. I think the average salary is from that same source that you were citing, but that was the one time that you provided us with a source citation, and that's a little bit problematic. The explanation of your argument is not that complicated. It's the presentation that I think needs the work. So I think you've got good information here, but you're not citing the sources very clearly. The argument intuitively is not difficult to grasp, but you should be explaining it a little bit more clearly. It comes down to being pretty simple. A college education doesn't guarantee economic security. The future is uncertain when it comes to the need for college graduates, and the debt that we're incurring is increasingly problematic for the economy and for the students who are going to school. That summarizes what your argument is, I think, pretty clearly, and I think that that's the way you need to kind of present this. As it is, it feels a little bit more disjointed than you want it to. All right, thank you.